Hi friends, welcome to Parapulse TV. My name is Mike, I'm your host, and if you've been to this station before, this channel before, you probably heard about Playa Circles, which is the name I've given to some highly strange formations that my three grown daughters and I found on a dry lake bed in, aka a playa, in Nevada in late 2013. We found about half a dozen of them on a pristine sort of surface where you got to wonder how these things were formed in wet mud with no footprints or tracks nearby, no indication of birds doing it or anything like that. So I didn't know what they were, but I had my daughters take pictures of them, and I looked it up on the internet later and could not find any reports anywhere in the world of these things previously. And so I just made a video about it because I didn't know what they were. And then it was about a year ago or so that I found out another person had reported them about a year after we'd found ours, 14 months after we'd found ours. A geology professor found them on the same dry lake, Lake Bonnie Claire, Nevada, and he had posted pictures of it on his blog, but it'd taken me like a year and a half to find those pictures. And so anyway, I did a video update about Playa Circles then, and this is an update about Playa Circles as well. There's been another report delivered to me by the person who found it. He found my video and then was able to track me down on Facebook, I guess. And he let me know that he had found this circle in the middle of a beach road, a sandy road. And the way the story goes is that the fella, his name is Woody, it's not his real name, just a nickname, but Woody lives in Costa Rica on the Pacific side, and he goes surfing every morning. Sounds great. So before the sun had even come up, we're talking 4:30 in the morning, he says he was out there, and he was preparing to catch a set, waves, and then he sees this white light on the beach road. Like there's probably trees and stuff like that, so he couldn't see exactly what it is. He said the white light wasn't really bright; it was just out of place. It wasn't usually there. So it made him curious, and then the waves started coming in behind him, big set of waves. So he had to sort of dive under the waves to make sure he didn't get washed away or whatever. And as he was underwater, he couldn't see the white light, of course. When he came back up, he looked for the white light on the beach road, but it wasn't there anymore. But now he sees this. Then he saw a light, a streak of light or smoke in the sky that he said kind of looked like a searchlight beam, but it didn't come all the way down to the ground. It started midway in the air and continued a little ways, and it made him curious. Like he's wondering. First, he's wondering what that light in the ground was, but now the light is gone, and now he sees this streak of light in the sky. He thought it was a searchlight, and he thought someone was looking for something. So after he finished his surf, I think it was about an hour and a half later or so, maybe a couple hours later, after he finished his surf, he went over to that spot on the road where the light had been, the approximate area, and he was just looking for, anything. He didn't really know what was going on, just seeing if there was something there that was curious, and he came across this circle in the road. Now, this circle is pretty faint, and I don't think most people would have just driven right over. They wouldn't even have taken notice of it. They just think it's a dirt bike track or something, kids doing donuts in the road. But because he had seen something very odd, he noticed it and took pictures, and then he found my video and reported it to me. I'm glad he did, because I do think it is, I can't say for certain it's the same phenomenon, but it certainly does look like the dimensions, the diameter of the circle is right. The width of the lines of the circle is right, the same as the ones we found, and the strangeness of the sighting of the incident, it speaks to something similar, I'd say. So I'm reporting it as a Terra circle, not a Playa circle, because it wasn't found on a playa. It was found on a sandy road, but still mysterious. And so I'm calling similar formations that are not on playas, I'm going to give them the name Terra circles. If Woody found it, so he can name it whatever he wants, but that's what I'm calling it, Terra circle. So I'm going to show you some pictures that Woody sent me. Woody wants to remain anonymous. He's not a believer in UFOs and all this paranormal stuff like I am. So I guess he doesn't want his name getting out there as some kind of tinfoil hat nut job. But I don't mind. I don't care what people think. I'm just after the truth. And I imagine someday he'll change his mind too if this kind of thing becomes more and more mysterious to him. So let's see what we got here. We're going to have to get rid of me, and we'll show you some pictures. Okay, so let's see. Okay, well, here's this one. This one I colorized, okay? That's Woody standing there. You can't even see his woman there. But there's the circle, okay? It's very visible because I colorized the whole thing, made the colors make it stand out. As you can see, there's lots of tire tracks. All these are just shadows, these black shadows. But pretty cool. Now that you've seen that, let's go back here. There's the same picture without the colorizing. Okay, and it's hard to see, but you can see the circle there. See, it's kind of yellow. It's kind of yellowed. Woody says that it appears to him that the ring was formed by heat, pressure and heat. Something pressed down into the soil, but there was also heat. When he first got to it, he knelt down and he felt the ring with his hand, and he said it was warm to the touch. And that was early enough that the sun had not come out and hit the road yet. It was still, the rest of the ground was still cold, but not the ring. The ring was warm to the touch. So, yeah, that's kind of a clue there, I figure. Okay, let's go to another picture. And he's looking at the circle again. It's still visible. We talked by email the other day, and just yesterday, or 2 days ago, I guess it was. And he said that the circle is still there. That even though it's had all kinds of tires and cars run over it and people walking over it, you can still distinctly see it. I suspect if it was scorched earth, a UFO did it, it might be visible for quite some time. I've also advised him to pretty much stay away from it because it could be radioactive. I was hoping he could find maybe a microwave radiation detector and check it out himself, but I don't know if he's done that yet. I'd also be curious to know if animals, like dogs or cats or whatever, how they react when they come across that circle. You know, don't give them any clues, just kind of walk them into it. But if they react to it, that'd be kind of cool. All right, so what else we got here? That was that one there. Go here. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit. Here's one that's lit up. This is, he took these at the time when the shadows, so it's unfortunate that we can't get a little more detail, but you can see that the soil looks disturbed to me in that it's not just heated, it's not just pressed. It's like something has made lines here or scraped in this direction. It's going back and forth like this. I originally thought the Playa circles I had found were formed by little rocks going around and around in a circle. But according to, if this is the same or similar type of formation, it looks to me like something is going back and forth like that to make the lines. Although it could be just happening all at once. It's a really strange thing. I don't really know what is causing them, how they're made. I can't get a handle on that, but we're allowed to make guesses. Okay, what's this? Oh, there's Woody. This is after, or excuse me, this happened before I had advised him to stay away from the thing because of radiation. He didn't think about that. Hopefully it's not going to matter. Everything's going to be okay. This line here, that I have a Playa Circle picture that one Playa Circle picture that has a tail like that on it as well. And so I asked Woody if he thinks this is the same thing, if it's part of the formation. He says yes, he thinks it is part of the same formation. He didn't really talk about it much, but I had to ask that question. He said, "Yeah, I think it is the same. It is part of the formation. It's not something separate." All right, let's get out of that and go to here. Here's Woody again, different day. The ring is visible there, still kind of faint, and it's really a funny thing. Had he been just walking along or driving along, there's no way in the world he would have noticed this faint circle in the middle of the road. You would just think it's a kid doing donuts. But because he had seen something odd, the highly strange light at the beach road, and then the beam of light in the sky, that made him curious, and he started looking for, from where he went to the area where it had come up from, he figured, and this is what he found. He would not have seen that otherwise, I don't think. All right, let's get that out of there. And here's Woody's woman in the same sort of position. That line is, It's confusing. I mean, if it's a UFO landing, just a circular UFO landing, how does this line get there? What does it roll into place on edge? I don't know. There's always weird things with this UFO stuff. If that's what it is, here I am assuming it's a UFO. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else. Let's zoom in a bit here. Oops. Zoom in a bit here. Now, you see what I mean? There's this like striding. I see a striating there. Lines, like something goes back and forth like that. It doesn't look like it was formed by anything traveling in that direction, like a spinning or anything like that. It looks to me like something went back and forth in here. Let's go to another one. Okay, it's a little better. Or is that the same picture? That might be the same picture. Yeah, I think it's the same picture. Okay, this one here, I zoomed in on it. Get a little better look at it. Now, in the pictures I have of Playa Circles that were made in wet mud, Woody's was formed in dry sand. Okay, and but this is still similar. You get these little sort of knobs of sand, built up sand at the end of these lines, which I hadn't really seen in my formations, but I shouldn't call them my formations. In the formations I found, I didn't notice lines like that, but I did notice that there was this kind of little bumps on the end of it, which I just assumed happened sort of by, squishing out mud. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's from something going back and forth like that. Okay. And what else can we see here? Now, at first I thought, oh, the tire tracks are a clue, but they might have come at any time. I can't really say they're a clue about anything. Unfortunately. What else we got here? That is probably the same picture. Yeah, just not blowing up as much. And what's this? Okay, now here's more of a close-up that Woody took of the line. See, I don't know if you can see that. It goes back like this. So this is the circle, but it's just a section of the circle, like probably about a quarter of it or even less, eighth of the circle. Just so we can get a close-up and look at the formation, the gouging in the ground. It looks like a gouging to me. I see lines here that go across. See that? You see what I'm seeing? I see lines that go across somehow. And I hadn't even noticed that until just now. See this lines here? Look at these little lines here. See that? That is part of it, I think. So strange. Okay, let's look over here. There's one last picture. Okay, now this is, whoops. I don't know if I can expand that anymore, can I? Not really. This is where Woody was surfing. When he first spotted the light, here, see this green arrow? So somewhere over here was the beach road, the sand road. And it's about a kilometer from where he was. And so he was surfing. It was still dark because it was 5 in the morning. And then a set of waves come in behind him, and he sees the light. Set of waves comes in behind him. He ducks under the wave. When he comes up and looks again, the light is gone. But now there's this beam of light, what appears to be a beam of light or lit up smoke in the air. Kind of like a searchlight, he said, but it only goes for a certain distance. It doesn't start at the ground, and it doesn't continue in the air. It's just like a section in the air. So it made him curious, and that's why he went and looked to where he thought that thing had gone up from. Even though he didn't see it go up, he had seen the light on the ground, and then later he sees the line in the sky. And so he went and checked it out. And I'm glad he did, because I think this is a related phenomenon. I don't really know, oops, how come you can't see me all of a sudden? Oops, webcam. Yes, of course it's busy. I'm using it. Okay, apparently I got the thing back showing me again. So I just wanted to say thank you, Woody, for finding me and making the report about the Playa Circle or Terra Circle. And anybody else who finds something similar, please contact me either through YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook under Playa Circles, or you can even find me on Steemit, Steemit. It's a new platform that is competing with Facebook, or trying to. So yeah, there's a few ways to find me. I'm going to keep reporting on these things. There's a chance I'm going to be going to a playa, the same playa where I found them, back in 2013. I'm going to go back there with my brother, who's a scientist, and we're going to study those things if we can find some. We're going to look for them, and so this is an ongoing thing. It's not a hoax. It's not just some simple curiosity. It's something strange, and I have a history of strange stuff that I've found. So I'm going to pursue this one. The other ones I didn't really do much with. This one I'm going to pursue. Thanks again, Woody. I really glad you found me, and happy surfing. And yeah, everybody else, take care. Playa Circles, Terra Circles. There you go. Take care. Bye now.